perfect dunk would be a 360 from the free throw line.
Okay, it is T-minus 10 and counting to liftoff.
Oh, they're on their feet at the stadium already. This is reminiscent of the ABA dunking championship and Julius Erving many years ago.
Mission Control ready for launch.
That brought Dominique to his feet. And Jordan says he likes to dribble the ball when he does a dunk as opposed to just running with it because he thinks that's really part of the rhythm and part of the game, and he should do that. And a 50 for Michael Jordan on his first dunk of the semifinal round.
Well, Jordan just taking his time, it appears, and I think this is what helps him. He accelerates right at the end, just misses behind the line, but still, that's tough to beat.
There you see him coming at you as gets ready for launch. The plant, the tongue out, the flare with the legs and the palm, and throw it through. Very nice, Michael.
Little clutch with the right arm as he goes down the first 50 that's been awarded today. And next comes Otis Smith, the 6'5" guard forward from Golden State. Second year in the NBA.
How'd you like to be following this, Steve?
That's what I was going to say. Whatever happens after that, you know, Otis Smith is in trouble, but Smith likes to come underneath the basket a lot, and so it's going to be real interesting to see what he can do to try to get the judges on his side.
Missed his dunk.
He can replace that dunk. Smith may replace
Now,
that dunk.
he may replace this dunk if he chooses to, and I'm sure he will, because the maximum points awarded on a missed dunk can be 5 from the judges, so he'll try it again.
Well, it's okay. It's just a matter of going through these dunks for all of the contestants so that we can get to Dominique and Michael in the final.
Oh, he had to grab an errant rebound as he threw it off the glass with a beautiful jam by Otis Smith.
That was impressive.
Now, that was good considering the pressure that he had missed before, coming behind Michael Jordan to take a chance and throwing it off the window and then catching it right. And again, power personified.
And he gets a 45 from the judges. That score booed. It may be the error in throwing the ball might have detracted from his point total.
I don't think so, Bob. I mean, I just think that coming behind Jordan, it's really hard for the judges to get juiced up again when they see that kind of an opportunity.
Second-year player in the NBA who had to follow Michael Jordan. That's called pressure. Now here comes Clyde the Glide Drexler. Drexler is competing in his 4th competition. He's a great dunker, often not as good in this competition as in games.
Well, Clyde has tried this once before in another competition, the sprint from the end. Let's see how he goes today.
Misses the dunk. He can replace it.
That is what happened when he tried this before, because he doesn't have that ability to, like Jordan, to somehow hang and glide and pop it in. He likes to cock and throw, and he missed it.
Greg Anderson, Spud Webb eliminated from the final competition.
Also, Clyde taking off a little further inside free throw line than Michael.
Well, now that's a tough one. Why would he choose a free throw dunk after Jordan has electrified the crowd with a 50? That would be tough in a judge's mind, I would think, Steve.
There aren't that many of them, though. I mean, you know, you think about these ducks, you got to think about what you can do, and you also got to think about how to impress the judge and get something down. Drexler just inside, they give him a 45.
Well, again, he did not have the flair that Michael Jordan had. And it's a great dunk coming in from the slam camera, as you see. Was able to throw it through, took off further inside than Michael. He was not deserving of a 50 because you compare it to what Michael did.
So next up will be Dominique Wilkins. We're in the semifinals of the 1988 Gatorade Slam Dunk Championships from Chicago Stadium on All-Star Saturday, along with Rick Barry, Steve Jones. This is Bob Neal. Oh, mercy.
He didn't go anywhere but from 15 feet in, but it seemed to be just as impressive, again, because he brought it down real low and then just powered it home.
He has so much power. Now, just look at this explosiveness as he takes off right in front of him, the complete 360 wheeler-dealer through for a 49.
So it's been Jordan with a 50, Wilkins with a 49, Drexler with a 45. There are 3 dunks in this semifinal round.
You think the judges might be thinking they might not be able to get out of here if Jordan doesn't win this thing. That was a tremendous effort by Dominique Wilkins.
Why do you think I picked Michael Jordan earlier? I grew up not far from Chicago Stadium. You got to call them their way. 49 for Dominique Wilkins. He's not real happy with that. He would like, of course, to have had a 50. He said he's on a mission to prove he's among the elite of the NBA. I would agree. I don't think he needs a mission.
I'd like to know who didn't give him a 10 on that one, Dominique. That's what I'd like to know.
Now, Michael Jordan with the second of his 3 dunks in the semifinals.
It's nothing new, but again, it's spectacular and it's front of the home crowd.
Well, that's what I call the Chinese Superman dunk, because he kind of flies a little sideways there. He got a little slant to the shot. There he goes. Now he leans in, fires it through with the extension of the arm, and he only got a 48. So obviously the judges are pretty tough this year.
They're tough and relatively consistent thus far. Compared to his 50, that might be a 48. That sounds pretty good.
Well, when you look at it again, and this is the one that got everybody juiced up a year ago, it looks just as good and looks like a 50 to me.
It sure does, Steve. I tell you.
No, that's the one he calls the kiss the rim, because he takes his face right up to the rim, ducks it under, and then windmills. He said previous to this that he was going to add a twist to that dunk for the competition today. Let's see if he advances, and I think he probably will. If he advances, if he brings it up in the finals. Here's Otis Smith.
Well, Otis has really got to be feeling the heat, and now he's got to go to imagination, and let's see what he dreams up.
Almost brought that rim down. That rim, by the way, is collapsible. It takes 230 pounds of pressure to make it break loose on the springs that are there for it to collapse.
Now remember, he had a miss, so he's not allowed to another one. You see from the slam cam, he didn't quite get it down, hitting the back flange and kicking out, so he cannot replace this dunk as we get another look at it. And he's going to come up probably with a maximum of 25, I would think. No, 22 even. So the judge is really tough today.
The judges ought to be up there where that slam cam is, and then they'd get a degree of difficulty that they could appreciate a little bit better. Smith had a good dunk going, but that probably is going to cost him in advances.
So for all practical purposes, Jordan, Drexler, and Wilkins are now competing to go to the championship round. Here's Clyde Drexler for his second of 3 dunks.
Now, Clyde has got to be a little bit more dramatic in whatever he does this time to really catch the judges' attention. He's been steady.
He called King's X, which means he gets to do that again.
Well, that's like in the Pro Bowl. A run-through doesn't count as long as you don't break the plane, so Drexler's going to try again. But now he's in his mind. He's trying to think, I got to come up with something to excite the crowd and the judges.
And he's changing his mind coming to the other side of the court now, so obviously he's going to try something different.
Talking to the crowd.
He's got to come up with some sort of 360 and power, and he's going for off the window.
That was impressive. He banked it from the left side, dunked it from the right.
That was safe, but I don't think it was good enough or dramatic enough for him to get past Jordan or Wilkins. Wanted to make sure he got something in, and at this point, if he would have been able to maybe turn some way in midair and catch it and throw it in, I think he'd have gotten a big score.
Sure, throw it up there, Steve. Catch it, do a 360 and fire it through. Something we used to do all the time, right?
A 42 for Clyde Drexler. So Drexler with a 42 on his first dunk in this round. Drexler had a 45, so that's an 87 thus far. There are 3 dunks in this semifinal round. Now, here comes Dominique Wilkins, who was disappointed. He was disappointed, and the judge has given him a 49 on his first dunk.
Here's a 360.
Oh, what a great shot from the lunar cam, too. That's right, that camera right above the rim.
Well, the heat is on, Rick. With that one, the judges are going to have to respond with their good scores. We look at the Lumicam up top, and that ought to give us a real good view of just how tough and powerful Dominique Wilkins is.
47.
Oh, he got a 47. He's not going to be happy. with that score. 49 the first, 47 on this one. I disagree.
Well, now I'll tell you, see, he put a little flare after he put the dunk through, but when he went up, he makes the spin move, goes up nice and straight, holds it on his hair, didn't do anything spectacular with the arms. He didn't put as much flair as he normally does into his dunk, Steve. So I would think that score was more indicative of what he had performed as opposed to the last one, which he deserved the 50 on.
Well, that's going to put him into the championship round with Jordan.
They get one more dunk.
Well, he's got to make sure he just makes the next one. I think the other competitors have basically almost eliminated themselves.